Tonight's dinner was another really easy one-pan meal. First, I grabbed 3 chicken breasts and then I sliced mine pretty thin and then cut them into small cubes. Now, you could really pick what any kind of seasonings that you would like. I am using the rotisserie chicken seasoning and some garlic and herb seasoning. Then season those really well and then kind of toss them up. And then I also am adding a couple tablespoons of cornstarch and just mix that up as well. Now to your skillet, you're gonna add a little bit of oil to that and then about 3 tablespoons of butter. Once that's all nice and hot, you're gonna add your chicken in. I cooked mine about 6 minutes total, so I did 3 minutes and then I flipped them and then cooked another 3 minutes. Once those are all nice and golden, you're gonna put those in a separate bowl and just set that aside for now. Then I added a few tablespoons of butter. Then once that was about melted, I added a diced onion. And then once those were about translucent, I added my mushrooms. I'm doing around 16 ounces of mushrooms. I did have to add a little bit more butter in there just because it's getting a little dry. And then towards the end of cooking it, I added a few tablespoons of minced garlic, some more seasoning. Once those are all cooked to your desired kind of doneness, you're gonna add 1 pound of pasta and then 1 carton of that chicken broth. Once it starts boiling, you're just gonna cook it about 8 minutes until those noodles are about cooked through and all that liquid has been absorbed. Then turn the heat to low and add a half of a cup of heavy cream and a half of a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Just mix that up until everything is melted, and then I added 3 kind of heaping tablespoons of pesto, and that's only if you like pesto a lot. And then I added my chicken and it was absolutely amazing. Tonight's dinner was such a delicious and fun dinner. I made chicken pot pie bread bowls. These were absolutely incredible and really easy to make. First, you're just gonna grab a large skillet. Add a few tablespoons of butter to that at a medium to high heat. Then I shredded up this whole block of cheddar cheese because why not make it cheesy? Once that butter melted, I added a diced onion. Once that was translucent, I added about a tablespoon of minced garlic. Just toss that up until fragrant, and then I added this bag of frozen peas and carrots. You're really just warming everything up here. Then I added a can of these diced potatoes. Just toss up, and then I'm adding a can of cream of chicken with herbs. Mix all this up really well, and now you're going to grab some milk and fill that can up with milk and then add that in as well. And now you can season however you want. I'm just using the original Mrs. Dash and some pepper. And then I'm using a rotisserie chicken, but you can use whatever kind of cooked chicken you want, and then add about 2 cups of that to that. If it's not quite creamy enough, you can add a little bit more milk like I did. And then once all that's combined, I added around a cup of that cheddar cheese. Just mix everything up really well until that cheese is nice and melted and everything is smooth. And now you're going to grab those bread bowls. For the bread bowls, I am making some mini ones for the kids, so I'm using these little Kaiser rolls. Make sure when you cut down into it, you don't cut the bottom of it so nothing leaks out, and then you just scoop it out. And then I'm having one of the large bread bowls. So then I melted around a half a stick of butter, and I'm adding some garlic and herb seasoning to that, and then spreading it all over those bread bowls. Now grab that chicken pot pie mixture and fill each bowl with it. Then grab your shredded cheese from earlier and top it with that. Now you're gonna bake these at 400 degrees for 7 to 8 minutes. I also flipped mine to broil for another minute or 2. This dinner was so amazing. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Today we're making the best dessert. This is an Oreo lasagna and it is truly the best. First, you're gonna grab a few large bowls, and also you're gonna grab a 9x13 pan. To the first bowl, you're gonna melt 1 stick of butter. Then you're gonna grab a party-sized pack of Oreos and crunch up 2 of those rows. Get those as small as you can. Then you're gonna add those to that melted butter and then mix them up really well and make sure they're crushed really good. Then you're gonna add these to your 9x13 pan, pressing them down. This is gonna be your crust, and you're gonna let this sit in the fridge or the freezer to harden. Now you're gonna grab another bowl and add 1 block of softened cream cheese to this and 1 cup of powdered sugar. Mix this up really well. I'm using my hand mixer. Now grab your Cool Whip and add about a cup to a cup and a half of that. Just fold this in really well. And now you're gonna set this layer aside. Then grab another separate bowl. Add 2 packages of chocolate instant pudding to this with 3 1/4 cups of milk. Whisk this up really well. And now grab those Oreos again, and you're gonna crunch up 1 row. And then you're gonna add that to your pudding layer. Just mix this up really well again. And by now that crust in your freezer should be hardened. So go ahead and get this out and add that cream cheese layer first. Just spread this all around, and then you're gonna grab your pudding layer and layer that on. And then grab some more Cool Whip and put that on the top, as much as you want really. And then you should have 1 more row of Oreos. Crunch those up and then put those on the top. And to make it a little Eastery today, we are adding these mini chocolate eggs. It's my kid's favorite candy right now. This dessert really is the best. I highly recommend this one, and I think it'll go great with Easter. I hope you guys love this one. Let me know if you give it a try. Tonight's dinner was absolutely delicious. So we are starting off with the potatoes. First, I'm melting a stick of butter in the microwave and just pouring that on a sheet pan. Then I'm sprinkling some garlic and herb seasoning all over the top and just spread that out all over your pan. Now I'm taking some Parmesan cheese and freshly shredding that over the top. Now you're gonna take your yellow potatoes and then just cut those in half. Then you're gonna place them cut side down in that butter garlic mixture. Then you're gonna bake it at 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, and I put it on the bottom rack. And now for our pork chops. I am using 6 of these medium to thin cut pork chops, and I have made these before. They are fantastic. These are my crispy, crunchy brown sugar pork chops. First, to a separate bowl, you're going to add about 3/4 cups each of grated Parmesan cheese, brown sugar, and Italian style breadcrumbs. And then now to a separate bowl, you're going to add around a cup or so of mayonnaise, and this time I am adding a tablespoon or so of Dijon mustard. Just mix that up real well. Now you're going to grab a baking dish, throw those pork chops in, and season them really well, however you want. Now you're going to spread that mayo mixture very thinly on those pork chops, and then you're going to dip it in that breadcrumb mixture, just like this. And when you're done with that, you are going to spray the tops with oil. Bake those at 425 for 25 to 30 minutes. These potatoes came out so amazing. The kids loved them, and the pork chops came out perfect as well. This really is the best pork chop recipe. It is juicy and just so delicious. Tonight for dinner, we made the best pizza ever. To start, we're making our pizza crust. We are using the cheddar bay biscuit dough for it, so just do that as the package directions say. Then you're going to grab a sheet pan and then line it with some parchment paper and then put a little oil down on that. Make sure to put some oil on your hands when you are flattening out your dough. My one sheet pan was too big, so we're going with a smaller one. And bake that crust at 425 for about 12 minutes. And then for my chicken, I took 2 chicken breasts and split those in half to make them thin, and then season them with garlic and herb seasoning. Now shred up your cheese that you want on your pizza. We're doing mozzarella and some Parmesan. If you want, you can use like a rotisserie chicken instead of cooking your own chicken just to make it easier. But I'm cooking my chicken for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and I'm cooking mine in a little oil and some butter. And once that chicken was all finished cooking, I am taking mine and then chopping it up nice and small. When your pizza crust comes out of the oven, you're going to put some Caesar dressing down as much as you want and then spread that all over. And then I'm putting down my cheese, and then you can really add whatever toppings that you want on your pizza. I'm putting that chicken down, and then I'm using black olives. I know a ton of people don't like it, but you don't need to put it on, and red onions, sprinkling some Italian seasoning on it. You're going to bake that at 425 for about 12 minutes again. And now I'm making just one of those Caesar salad kits from the store. I like to put this salad on top of my pizza. Whenever it's done, it is truly so amazing. Make sure to let that pizza cool a bit before trying to slice it. This dinner was absolutely incredible. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Today for dinner, I am making a delicious sheet pan dinner. This one was absolutely amazing. It took a little extra time, but it was definitely worth it. First, you're going to grab some yellow potatoes, as much as you need to feed your family, and add those to a pot with some water and let those boil for around 25 to 30 minutes. While those are boiling, grab your sheet pan and then line it with some parchment paper for an easier cleanup and spray it with a little oil. Whenever those potatoes are fork tender, you're going to grab those out and then set them on your sheet pan. Let those cool for a bit while you're doing everything else. Now you're going to grab some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. Add those to your sheet pan too, and then you're going to season however you want. I'm using that garlic and herb seasoning, the wood-fired blend, and then some pepper. Spray the chicken with just a little oil and then season them really, really well. Make sure to do both sides of your chicken. Then I'm adding this creamy garlic dressing to mine, about a tablespoon or 2 each, and then spreading it all over. And if you want, you could just use barbecue sauce or whatever there. Now grab something small to smash those potatoes down with, just like this. The thinner you do them, the crispier, and then the thicker you do them, the creamier. Add a little olive oil to those, and then I'm just seasoning it with that garlic and herb seasoning again. Then I am adding some baby carrots to my pan as well, wherever I can fit them. Toss those with a little bit of olive oil too, and then some salt and pepper. Bake everything in the oven at 425 for 25 minutes. After that 25 minutes, you're going to take more of that sauce and then add a tablespoon or so on each one again, and then baste it. Make sure to wash your little baster in between each time. Place that back in your oven for another 20 minutes. While that is cooking, I'm making a little bit of garlic butter for those potatoes. So I'm doing a few tablespoons of butter and then just adding that garlic and herb seasoning to it. When everything comes out of the oven, you're going to take that sauce for the last time and then add it to each chicken again, and then take that garlic butter and then spread all over, and then sprinkle with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Those potatoes were phenomenal, by the way. And now you are ready to assemble your plates. This dinner was truly so amazing. Everybody loved it. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Tonight's dinner was definitely a little bit different, but it was so amazing. I had 3 helpings of it. First, start cooking a 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Then start boiling some water for your pasta. Once that meat's about done cooking, you're going to drain all that grease. Then I added about 2 tablespoons of ranch seasoning and then 1 packet of au jus mix. Then I just tossed it up for a bit. Then grab some unsalted beef broth and add 1.5 cups of this. Just mix this up really well, and it should start to thicken right away. Then you're going to grab some pepperoncinis, and I added about 1/4 cup of that juice to that. And then I'm adding just a few of the pepperoncinis without the tops on them, and then mix it all up again. It should look like this whenever you get that all done. It is so amazing. If you want more sauce to that too, you could probably add another half of a cup. Then you're gonna cook that angel hair pasta. I'm doing a whole pound. Once that's finished cooking, you're gonna add that to your meat. Now just keep tossing it up in that sauce and in that meat and everything. This one was truly so amazing. I hope you guys give this one a try. Today for lunch, I made Zesty Italian crescent roll sandwiches. This is one of my favorite easy meals. It is so delicious, and you can change it up as much as you want. First, grab a 9x13 pan, and I did put a little bit of oil down on mine. And then grab a crescent roll dough sheet, and then you're going to put that on the bottom of it. And you do not need to overstretch it there or anything. Just put it right on the bottom. Then I'm layering mine with my meats. I'm doing pepperoni, ham, and then I'm putting the provolone in the middle, and then adding some salami, and then I'm putting banana peppers on it this time, black olives, and some diced red onions. And again, you can put whatever you want on it. This is just my favorite combination. Then grab another crescent roll dough sheet and just place it on the top, and then you're gonna pinch the edges shut just like this. You do want to cut a couple slits on the top of that as well. I melted a few tablespoons of butter and added those seasonings to that. Just mix that up and then spread it all over the top. You're gonna bake this in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes until it is nice and golden. So it should look like this in the end. Then I kind of just flip mine over on a cutting board a couple times and then cut it like that. This is absolutely delicious. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. This right here has been my favorite dinner all week. It is a 1 p.m. meal and it is absolutely amazing. First, I'm taking 2 New York strip steaks and then seasoned with some pepper and that Montreal steak seasoning. And then I'm chopping up 2 bell peppers. I think mushrooms would have went so good in this one too. I just didn't have any. So I'm also doing a jalapeno. I just took out some seeds of that, and then an onion as well. Now you're gonna grab your large skillet and then add a little oil to that, and then your steak. I was trying to go for a medium rare here, so I'm doing 3 minutes on each side. And then once that time was up, I added a few tablespoons of butter and then basted those steaks in butter for about 30 seconds. Now just take those steaks off to rest. Then to that same pan, you're gonna add a couple more tablespoons of butter. And you can turn down the heat to a medium here. And then once that butter is melted, you're gonna add your veggies in. Season them well with smoked paprika and Slap Your Mama seasoning. And if you don't want spicy at all, just change up the seasonings. I cook those for about 5 minutes until the veggies are a little soft. Now, I'm using instant rice to go faster, so I'm doing 3 cups of instant rice and then just tossing that up really well, and then add 3 cups of beef broth and then crank up the heat. Once it's boiling, you're going to reduce the heat and cover it just for like 2 minutes, and it's already finished. While that was cooking, I cut up my steaks, and I did go a little over medium rare, but it's fine. Now I want my rice a little creamy, so I'm adding a half of a cup of heavy cream and then a half of a cup of Parmesan cheese, and if you want it creamier, just add a little more. And honestly, that rice was the best rice I've ever had. Now just top it with those steaks and enjoy. I absolutely am in love with this one. Today I made the most delicious little dessert for after dinner tonight. So first you're gonna grab a box of brownie mix. It doesn't really matter what kind of brownie mix, you're just gonna make it as the box directions tell you. There's really no reason to get fancy with this either, so just do the water, the oil, and the eggs. And I messed up there and just mix this up until it's all ready. So you're gonna take 2 mini muffin pans, spray a little oil in those so nothing sticks. Then you're gonna add that brownie mix until a little less than halfway full, I think, maybe about halfway full or so. And then you're gonna bake these at 350 degrees for 15 minutes until that toothpick comes clean. And then you're just gonna wait like a minute or so, and then you're gonna make little cups out of them like I just did with that little measuring spoon. And then they come right out. You can wait till they cool a bit. And then I'm taking some cheesecake mix and then cutting a little Ziploc so they look a little prettier. At first I tried doing the spoon, but it looked ugly. And then added some mini chocolate chips to the top. These were amazing. Tonight for dinner, we're having Perogi nachos again. We love these, and they are so simple to make. First, I'm grabbing a family-sized bag of frozen pierogies, and you're gonna put a little oil on those and then season them up however you want. We're using taco seasoning and a little bit of Slap Your Mama seasoning. And if you see any bare spots on those, just spray a little more oil and seasoning on those. Now you're going to grab a sheet pan. I always line mine with parchment paper just because it's way easier to clean up. And you're going to lay those on your sheet pan. Bake those at 400 degrees cheese for 15 minutes. And while those are baking, you're either going to bake your taco meat, or I already had some left over from burrito night, so we're just using that. And then you're going to shred up whatever kind of cheese that you want on your nachos. We are doing Colby Jack cheese. And now whenever your pierogies come out of the oven for the first time, you are going to flip those all over so they get nice and plump whenever you're cooking them. And then you're going to cook them for another 15 minutes. And then once they come out, they'll be nice and plump like that. And now you're going to top it with all your toppings. So I'm doing my taco meat first, and then all of that cheese. And then you're going to put this back in the oven for just 5 minutes or so until the cheese is all nice and melted. And then you just make your nachos pretty much however you want. You can add some lettuce to them, some sour cream, anything you want. I always put sour cream and then this Taco Bell kind of sauce on mine. These are so good. Our family loves them. I hope you guys do too. Tonight's dessert was so amazing. I made a lemon blueberry cheesecake dump cake. This dessert was everything and really easy. First, grab 2 cans of blueberry pie filling and just add that to a 9x13 pan. And now you're gonna make that cheesecake layer, which is really easy. I know people are gonna ask if you can use that already made stuff. I've never made that in a baked dessert because I don't think you're supposed to bake that. So I always just do it this way. It's not that hard. It's just 2 blocks of softened cream cheese, a half of a cup of sugar, and 2 eggs. Georgia went way overboard on the vanilla, but that's okay. And then our cream cheese was not soft enough, but it's okay. It still tasted amazing. And now on top of that, you're going to put the lemon cake mix. Just sprinkle that all over the top. Now you're going to take 1.5 to 2 sticks of butter, and you're going to slice that up thin and then put that all over the top. We ended up going the whole 2 sticks this time. Sometimes I go 1.5 sticks, but it needs to be completely covered. Now you're going to bake it at 350 degrees for 50 to 55 minutes until nice and golden. You can eat it just like this or serve it with some ice cream. Tonight's dinner was another incredibly easy crock-pot dinner. This is some of the things you're going to need right here. So I did those little baby potatoes, those real cute ones. And now I'm doing 2 smoked sausage links. I'm doing the Cajun style one, but you can do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. And I'm doing 2 onions sliced as well. I am sauteing mine. I think it tastes a lot better when you do, but you don't have to. If you just want to throw everything in the crock pot, that's totally fine too. So you're just adding a little oil to that pan and then trying to get that nice brown crust on them. Now go ahead and wash those potatoes and then add them to your crock pot. I am seasoning with that salt-free garlic and herb seasoning. It's one of my favorites. And then once that sausage and onions is about done, I'm adding a couple tablespoons of minced garlic. Once you can really smell that, add that all to your crock pot. Now just mix that up really well and then take that Kerrygold garlic and herb butter and put that right on the top. Cook that for 3 hours on high, and then after that time is up, you're gonna add about 12 ounces of fresh green beans. Then I added a little bit more of that butter and then let that sit for another hour. This one was so good. We're making one of our favorite dinners again. We're just doing some roasted potatoes and smash burger tacos, and you guys know that we love this one. I've shared it so many times, but it's so good. First, I'm grabbing some russet potatoes and then cubing up those very small. You're gonna wash those and then put a couple tablespoons of oil with those. Now just season them however you want, really. I'm doing a packet of ranch seasoning and then some Saffron Mama seasoning, and just toss those up really well. Then you're gonna grab a large sheet pan, and I always line mine with some parchment paper just for an easier cleanup. Spread those out on your pan, and then you're gonna bake these at 425 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour, and make sure you flip those every once in a while just to make sure everything's nice and crispy. Then I'm grabbing 2 pounds of ground beef and just season it again however you want. I did this barbecue blend seasoning. Just mix that up really well, and you're gonna form them into about 1.5 to 2 inch balls. Then I take these street taco shells, and then you're just gonna put your ball down and then smash those into your pan just like that. My griddle is set at 350 degrees, and I cook those for about 3 minutes and then flip them over for another minute or so until that cheese gets nice and melted, and then I just set them on some paper towels to drain. Then once those potatoes are nice and crispy, go ahead and take those out, and then you just add whatever toppings you want to those smashed burger tacos. We did some lettuce, and then I always do that burger sauce. These are so good.